Clint Eastwood names the actor he respects most. And the moment he revealed that name, it surprised people who thought they already understood everything about him. Because to understand why he chose that actor, you have to go back to where his story began. When he was just a quiet boy growing up in San Francisco in 1930. A time shaped by the Great Depression and the kind of hardship that forces a person to grow strong long before they want to. He carried a calm determination even as a child, and that quiet strength would later become the trademark of every character he brought to life on screen. Yet in those days he was shy, unsure of himself, and constantly battling the feeling that he did not quite fit into the world around him. And that internal struggle shaped the man who later became a legend. He grew older, he drifted through different jobs. Lifeguard, paperboy, young man trying to find direction. Before the army took him in during the Korean War era, where he learned discipline and a kind of silence that stayed with him forever. He never saw combat, but the military sharpened the qualities that would turn him into one of the most unforgettable presences in film history. When he returned home, he decided to take acting seriously, studying whenever he could, taking small parts, trying to break into an industry that rarely welcomed newcomers. Rawhide finally changed things for him in the late 50s, when audiences saw something different in the young cowboy named Rowdy Yates, a calm fire in his eyes. A presence that did not need much dialogue to make you listen. Then came Sergio Leone and the Dollars trilogy that transformed Clint Eastwood from a rising actor into a global symbol. A fistful of dollars for a few dollars more. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All three films reshaped the Western genre with their rough energy and their new kind of hero. A man who could stay silent longer than most actors could talk. A man who carried conflict, danger, and mystery in every glance. The world had never seen a character like the man with no name, and Eastwood understood exactly what audiences wanted. Tension created with stillness, emotion carried through small gestures, and stories that lived in the unspoken moments between each scene. As he grew older, his focus expanded beyond acting. He stepped behind the camera and became one of the most respected directors in Hollywood. Play Misty for Me proved he had an instinct for storytelling. And later, films like Unforgiven, $1 Million Baby, Gran Torino, and American Sniper showed the depth of his understanding of human struggle, grief, morality, and redemption. He won Oscars, earned global recognition, and built a career that most people can only dream of. Yet he never allowed fame to control him. Off-screen, he lived with a kind of independence that made him both admired and criticized. His relationships were complex. His family life stretched across multiple partners and children. And the public often tried to understand a man who preferred that his personal world remain closed to everyone but him through marriages, breakups, public romances, secret relationships, and the many layers of his private world. Clint Eastwood continued working with the same determination he had carried since childhood. His first marriage to Maggie Johnson lasted over 30 years and gave him 2 children, though the pressures of fame and the demands of Hollywood life eventually pushed them apart. His long relationship with Roxanne Tunis brought another child into his life. And then his intense partnership with Sandra Locke filled the tabloids for years, while he quietly continued building a family that extended far beyond what most people knew at the time. After Locke, he had 2 children with flight attendant Jocelyn Reeves, then another with Francis Fisher, and finally he married Dina Ruiz, with whom he had his youngest daughter before their marriage ended in 2014. Through every chapter of his life, one thing never changed. Clint Eastwood understood talent, he understood presence, and he respected actors who could bring truth to a character without forcing it. Which is why, when he was asked which actor he respected most, he answered without hesitation, Lee Van Cleef, the man who helped define the very same Western era that made Eastwood a star. A man often cast as the villain, yet always capable of commanding the screen with nothing more than a single cold stare. Eastwood admired Van Cleef because he understood the art of subtlety, the power of silence, the importance of timing. He believed Van Cleef had a rare ability to convey danger, emotion, and intelligence without speaking more than necessary. And for Eastwood, that kind of control meant everything. He once said that watching Van Cleef work reminded him that acting is not about delivering lines. It is about presence and instinct and understanding the heartbeats of a scene. Van Cleef came from the 50s era of Hollywood, typecast at first, underestimated by many. Yet he turned every role into something unforgettable. Eastwood loved his discipline, his professionalism, his commitment. He appreciated the way Van Cleef never treated a part as small or unimportant. He showed up, prepared, focused, and fully invested in every moment. And Eastwood saw in him a reflection of the values he respected most. The values he believed defined a true actor when Eastwood said that Lee Van Cleef was the actor he respected above all others. He was not just praising a colleague, he was honoring the legacy of a man who understood the art of acting at its purest level. He was reminding the world that greatness in Hollywood is not about fame or awards. It is about dedication, authenticity, and an unwavering commitment to the craft. Eastwood has admired many actors in his life, but Van Cleef was different. He was the kind of performer who left an imprint on everyone who watched him. And for Clint Eastwood, those are the people who stay with you forever. You enjoyed this deep look into the life and choices of Clint Eastwood. Make sure you subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you never miss our next story.